real quick. Let's make this real quick because it's hot outside. We got the truck turned off. The heat's gonna become unbearable before too long. So check us out, man. This is the Nkosi. This is my Nkosi. This is not the one we're gonna do the drawing for, unless you guys just want it or whatever. But the Patreon rules. It's just a reminder because we're dropping Patreon members, and that's cool. The Patreon members, you guys just pay for knives for yourselves. That's all we're doing. So this is like the first big giveaway we're doing. I think that's the fourth giveaway we're doing, but this is the biggest one we've done so far. So it's every $1 that you pledge to Patreon gets you a chance to win a knife. In this case, it's going to be a Chris Reeve. It could be a 31. It could be a Nkosi. My concerns are the S45 stock's running out. The MagnaCut stock is much more expensive, and it happens to sell out much quicker. So by the time we get to the point, we're about $400 right now. So we're just a little bit away from being able to get a small Sabenza or a small Nkosi or something, something like that. Or we could go used, or we can go use large. It doesn't matter to me, but you know how buying used Chris Reeve knives can be, right? Like you gotta hunt it down on a secondary. I might have some friends that can help me out with that for reliable knives, because this is one of the most counterfeited knives on the market, right? Like not necessarily the Nkosi, but the Sabenza is probably one of the most counterfeited knives on the market, and I definitely don't want to be taking on that. So again, years ago I did buy fake Chris Reeve thinking I was buying a real one. I thought I was just getting a really good deal. Okay, live and learn, and we won't let that happen again. But okay, so that's where we're at, man. We're dropping a few Patreons here and there, and that's, like I said, that's totally cool. But the pace is slowing down on being able to build up that money to be able to get to that Nkosi giveaway. I'm calling it the Nkosi giveaway because that's really what I hope you guys vote on. But the vote is still yours. And we put out a poll in Patreon, and we asked about Jed Hornbeak instead, because his knives are somewhat more affordable, and they're just about, to me, man, they're just as good and probably getting about as desirable. Probably not as a worldwide spectrum, but man, his knives are nice. They're way more rare, and we have an 80% feedback of, that a Jed Hornbeak sounds good. We got one person that says, man, Jed Hornbeak's nice, but I've always wanted a Chris Reeve knife. I'm listening to you, man. I hear you. That's what I originally wanted to do. This was the original plan, was to give away a Chris Reeve on this channel. So I don't want to alter those plans, but we'll either have to gain more traction on Patreon to pick up the pace so we can give this knife away sooner, or we will have to change knives, so that it's weird when you give away a knife every month. You get more Patreon members, and then you're like, okay, we can do something bigger if you want. But then a few months go by and you're not giving away any knives. What happens? People start leaving, and I get it, but that's why we vote on things. So like, I'm not here to complain or gripe at you or any of that stuff. This is not a lecture, but for those of you that are sticking around, man, I need to hear from you. If you're a Patreon member, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't use your money to fund the channel. I don't use your money to buy anything from my personal collection or anything. What we use your money for is to give you knives back. I have fun with it. That's what I get out of it. I get a lot of fun out of it. So I very much appreciate that. It's very entertaining for me to be able to buy a knife that I don't have to keep, I don't have to invest in, and we can put a smile on somebody's face. That's really all it's about for me. So thank you for sticking around, and thanks for your patience, and realize that I'm probably not doing all I can do to advertise this Patreon giveaway, but I figure if people are subscribed members, they're probably seeing it anyway. They may not be interested in it. It's okay, but we'll get there one way or the other. but you know, like I need to hear from you. You know, like if you're a Patreon member, give us your thoughts. You know, like are you glued? Are you super glued to a Chris Reeve knife? Because it could be a few more months. Or would you like to go for the Spartan Harsey? Are you okay with used? Are you glued to new? Want something else that's just as desirable, just cost a little less? Whatever your thoughts are to keep you happy, then let us know, man, because we're not trying to run anybody off. Most of the people who are leaving is decline cards. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. So it's not, I'm not getting a bunch of negative feedback and then people are leaving. What I'm getting is just it's just to be a decline card, and I really feel bad for them if they don't know, if they think they're still Patreon members and they got into this Patreon thing because they thought they had a chance of winning in Kosi or a Chris Reeve of some sort, and now they don't, so that sucks, anyway, it is what it is, at the time of the drawing, you don't need to be a member, but okay, video's long enough. I didn't intend for it to be this long. Like I said, man, this is my S45V in Kosi modified blade. I don't want to get rid of this knife. I'm not saying that you guys, we could speed this thing up if you guys want this one, and I can get another one, later, in life. But it's up to you guys, really. So if you're a Patreon member, if you want to be a Patreon member or whatever, hit us up. You don't know how? Let us know. Like I said, every $1 you pledge is a chance to win the knife. We let the bank build up until we can afford to buy a knife that you guys want, and we try to vote on everything. So that's how it works around here. Until next time, we will catch you on the flip side.